Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. Welcome, and I guess before I go any further, I should just issue a little warning. I will, I intend to put it in the title as well. If you are offended by nudity, as in nudity in art, not pornography, not distasteful or whatever, but anyway, there is some nudity here. So if that bothers you, then see you. Thanks for stopping in, and hopefully you'll come back for the next one. So I'm losing light here, and I'm also losing days on the calendar. It's almost, it's February 11th as I'm doing this, and it is my February spread for the hashtag Junk Journal Vision Board. Now this, this initiative was started by Carrie, the paper monkey. If you haven't already been there to check her out, subscribe, like, comment, then you need to drop everything and do that. I won't do my little whole preamble about how it came to be in a book this year as opposed to a catalog. If you use the hashtag Junk Journal Vision Board, you will be able to see past videos that I've done, past videos that Carrie has done, and anyone else who is daring to do this in public. So it's probably not a secret that I'm not really into the heart as a motif. It seems maybe a little overdone from my perspective, but I'll tell you the rationale about this spread, and then I'll show you what's behind this little mask here. So I have a book that I took apart a long time ago. It's circa 1944, and it's a book of, oh dear, what do they call it? Wood engravings. And a lot of them seem to be Russian, Polish, sort of Eastern European. And maybe that's where the author came from. Anyway, they're obviously black and this sort of color here. So I thought, okay, I've gessoed my 2 pages. I can make that work. And then I thought, okay, you can't always be swimming upstream. Maybe I could, introduce a heart motif and a heart motif. So in essence, what I've done, and let me expose these ladies. So now I have, let me back up. The reason I was drawn to this image is because by sticking one's neck out, by beginning a YouTube challenge, by beginning to engage with strangers, we make ourselves vulnerable. And is there any state of being that is more vulnerable than being naked? And I don't want to turn into one of those people who write those artist statements that like if you go to an art show and it's so esoteric and so much BS and so much that it's just, like you almost have the gag reflex. You know that I'm a practical person. You know that, yes, I'm a creative person too, but let's just speak the truth. So I'm not trying to turn this into an artist statement, but what I was drawn to in this is the fact that these are women. They have come together in a state of vulnerability. They are making contact with each other. This one's hand is on that one's shoulder. These have joined hands here. And I think that in a pictorial sense, is a great analogy for how I feel about many of you. I feel that I can be vulnerable with you and speak the truth as I know it. Many of you have told me things in notes or in emails or in comments that maybe you wouldn't necessarily say to people in a closer circle. And as well as this is a symbol of the deeper friendships that are forming. You know, the people, and I hesitate to name drop because then by doing that, it automatically excludes others. So I'm not going to name names. But if you feel that in any sense of that word, whether you're a fellow YouTuber or whether you're a subscriber, if you feel that connection to me, then we are one of these women. And this is not to exclude men, of course. I know I have some male subscribers as well. So this is a symbiotic relationship that I think we have in this paper crafting, journal making community, if we choose to be vulnerable and if we choose to extend ourselves in friendship and generosity to others. And when you're unclothed, you can't be hiding a shiv in your back pocket. You're not weaponized to hurt anyone else. So I think it says all the things I want to say. I have this book that I took apart a long time ago, A Passion for Red. So it's a variety of images, some advertising, some vintage, some, weirdo ones. And so I looked through it today because, again, red is sort of the color of Valentine's Day or February. And so I picked this image out of here. Because it had print on the back, I backed it onto a something plain. And this will be a writing spot for me. Because it's so late in the day and so late in the month, I didn't take the time to fill out my little papers here. But I did go on to create, this was more, this might have been an end paper from the same book. This was part of an image out of this red book. This heart was in that red book. I fuzzy cut around it. Anyway, so what I did was I took, this is out of an old album, and this, or scrapbook, I mean. This paper is very fragile, so and it had glue blobs and stuff on the inside. So I just glued it together, made it pretty rigid. Oh, and I'll show you. This is a tuck spot. This is a pocket. This is a pocket. This is a tuck spot. So I have just inserted these things, and I will put something on each of them. Now, when I punched out, you may have seen the video where, well, no, I didn't actually do it on video. I said I was going to do it. I had those three or four little books of punch outs. So I punched out all the images, and it included some, sentiments. Stay focused and shine. So that's obviously a worthwhile goal in this business. And this one says creativity is experimenting, and growing. Is experimenting and growing. So I just thought that these were kind of inspirational messages. And basically the essence of what my February goals are is kind of more of the same. Be genuine, be vulnerable, share, accept gifts and blessings gracefully. There was a time when and maybe the same is true in your life, where, someone would give me a compliment. I'd say, oh, yeah, but I got it on sale. Oh yeah, but I had help. Oh, yeah, thanks, but. You know, sometimes the best thing a person can say when someone is giving you a compliment is, "Thank you. I'm so pleased you noticed," or "Thanks for saying that. You made my day," like whatever. Just a gracious acceptance, instead of, you know, trying to trying to match a positive with a negative, or downgrade the importance of. Actually, it's almost point to the point of rudeness, because somebody has made themselves vulnerable, or is wanting to express something, and we aren't gracious enough to accept it and make them feel good about having done it, but in fact we sort of shut them down. So that's another thing, I guess, to keep in mind, both for me and perhaps for you. So I will be adding some stuff here that is going to tie in with this whole idea of building these relationships with women, men, women, and children. And yeah, so that's that. Now, the only thing that there may be wrong with this spread, and the only thing that is going to remotely look like a demonstration of some sort, is there is no red on this side. So there is quite a margin. This image was too wide to fit on one page without having to cut it. Ideally, I wouldn't have wanted to tear her face and butt cheek in half. I would have liked it a little more over, but then it would have interfered over there, so blah, blah, blah. The paper's really old, it cracked, you know, usual stuff. I did like the symbolism, though, of her reaching across the chasm with that extended hand, but it didn't work out. Anyway, this is a Caran d'Ache, C-A-N, C-R, C-R-A-A-N, apostrophe, Ache. So it's a French thingamajig. They Neocolor Aquarelle. Now, aqua, of course, means water, and it's going to mean water soluble. So I have these come. You can buy them individually. You can buy them in sets. My set isn't very big, and you can tell I've barely used it. So what I tried here. Now, this is obviously just plain old paper. This has been gessoed. So what I intend to do is make some marks, and then with a wet brush, sort of make it bleed. Make it bleed. So let's just do that. Now, I'm not going to get overly fancy or complicated here. I mean, it's just mark making. It's just spreading some color around. And again, I've spoken about it in the past. This is going to be the heaviest corner down here. It's going to fade out up here because I believe in visual weight. Now, I have a couple of brushes. One is considerably bigger than the other. This is a size 9. This is a size 5. I even changed to fresh water just for you guys. So let's just, maybe let me make another mark here. Now again, this paper is inferior, but you can see how nicely the color, and you can drag it. But of course, the paper is not, oh, I forgot my roll of toilet paper. You don't often hear that on a YouTube channel. This obviously holds a lot less water. So I guess we're going to see. I'm just going to get that toilet paper because it is the smartest thing I have found for blotting. So maybe, and again, I'm assuming, I know, whoa, almost spilt the water. That this will, what can you guys see? That this will work better on this gessoed surface than it is on the cheap paper. And again, you can see I pretty well got my brush flat. I'm just dragging a bit of the color, trying not to be too you know, uniform. And that may be as simple as it gets. And then sometimes the real trick is knowing when the heck, I'm so tempted to touch that, to just step away and say, nope, I'm not going to overwork it. I'm stopping right there. So I stopped right there. Okay, guys, that is all I have for this month for this video. And, oh, I still have some homework to do. I better not close this book until it dries, but it won't be that long. So thank you again for joining me. I hope that you choose to do this as well, or if you choose to do this, then kudos, pat yourself on the back. And yeah, you know what? It might not hurt. I'm just going to do a faint little line this way. Better use my bigger brush. Okay, now I'm stopping. So, oh, but see, I don't have anything. Shouldn't there be something over here? Pull this girl, whatever. Pointy little hat. It looks unbalanced. Oi. Okay. If there was ever a vote on who's got the longest farewells, the longest closings, I think I'd be a shoo-in. Stop. Put this kid back in there. Now, I guess the only thing that I would say about this, very hard for me to leave well enough alone. Have you ever noticed that? This is, you know, paper out of the book, and it is so soft. I don't know if this helps or hurts, but I guess I'm a little troubled by the fact that there is this text here. I mean, it's knocked back, but still is pretty white compared to a lot of the other elements here. But you know what I could try? Is just tone that down a bit. And if at home you're sitting there thinking, okay, pull out an ink pad already, I will. Probably shouldn't be doing this while there is still some wet. Really like to tempt fate, you know? Needless to say, this is not the right order to do this in. I should have anticipated that problem before I glued this pockety tuck spot down. And that is the technical term, pockety tuck spot. Now I will reserve the right to go back to that once I'm actually short of something here. I need to make it, well, I guess a pocket could go unfilled too. There is always that. See, well, I'm putting this guy back in, but there's still, well, no, I suppose, what am I doing here? This goes in here. Oh no, I guess I'm fine. Sheesh. Okay, I'm out of here. And you should be too. Okay, guys, thank you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.